I ain't been exactly super productive today. Not like I wanted to, because I had some things I need to deal with. But we're going to kick into productivity mode in a minute. So don't expect the smoke break to be real long at all. But let me start it off with this. YouTube. Greetings to you people inside of YouTube. This is officially my little smoke break in between my work day while I'm doing my work as a YouTube partner with you. I'm not promoting the smoking of cigars, nor do I sell cigars here on your platform. This is just me having my smoke break while I talk to the peoples and chop it up with. Um, you know, guys, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So, one of the NATO members just threatened Israel, which is mind-boggling crazy. Why you would do something like that, I have no clue. LeBron James morphed on live TV and turned into a lizard person live on TV at the Olympics. We had the power outage over the weekend at the Olympics. And I told you guys this Monday would be like a kind of weird news day. The Venezuela elections happened. Everybody knows that Venezuela is a banana republic. If you go out on the internet, they closed the bridges from like the smaller places in Venezuela, so where the people couldn't get to the voting polls, so they were riding on boats to go to vote in Venezuela. Last year, the Venezuelan president annexed a part of Guyana, Guyana, in Guyana, for their oil reserves after talking to Bumbling Joe. And so now Maduro is claiming he's won the election again. They about to have civil war break out in the nation. It's wild times all over the place out here in these streets. I mean, it really is. Don finally came out and started talking about the World Economic Forum's plans to destroy humanity. About time he actually talked about what's really going on. They found deep water ocean rocks. They call it dark oxygen in the ocean. I mean, it's crazy. Everywhere you look, it's crazy. I'm sitting there trying to figure out how I'm going to put together a video to talk about all this stuff. And I just had to take a break. I'm like, yo, this is all over the place. And everything's significant. And everything ties in together. But everything don't tie in together. And so I'm sitting there looking at them. It's kind of like, this is crazy. In retrospect, going back and looking at the power outage, I didn't realize till today, because I saw the outage. I didn't really sit down at a computer and look real deep at it. I didn't realize the only thing that was lit up within miles was a church, and the church was on top of a hill in France. I don't know if y'all realize that, but the only thing around that place for miles that was lit up was a cathedral. And I was like, holy crap. Holy crap. Then on top of that, the globalists came out this weekend and started saying that there's a new pandemic coming. And this one is specifically targeting people who didn't do the bop. I'm going to do a video on that early. That way, because it's not in the algorithm for being blocked yet, I'm pretty sure. So I'll do that early so it'll be out there and then they can do whatever they're going to do when it starts. Man, it's just craziness going on out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it really is craziness going on out here in the streets. I mean, everywhere you look. Pure and utter insanity. Everywhere. To the point to where, as a citizen of the United States of America, you have to wonder if the civil disobedience meter is about to go from here to there. Because For example, another thing, Philadelphia, today, people walking down the street, probably 200 people walking down the street in Philadelphia with communist flags and banners. Just walking down the street, parading. And I'm sitting there saying, man, you know what in the hell is going on? Like, for real, what's going on? I know what's going on, but it's... And so my brain is sitting there trying to piecemeal this together, like piece, puzzle piece, puzzle piece, puzzle piece, puzzle piece. I said, I got to take a break. Then I started getting phone calls about some other stuff that I really am over this individual. And so I'm just like, man, this is wild. But anyway, how was you guys this weekend? I hope you had a phenomenal weekend. This week itself probably is going to be jam-packed with stuff. One of the first narratives I saw this morning politically was the Kamala Harris campaign calling for a debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to say this was MSNBC News. I think they had Stephen Miller on there, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, I want you to understand something politically. You don't, just because you want to debate me and I'm in a position of strength, I don't add any validity to you at all. You can call for a debate all you want. If I'm in a position of strength, I don't debate you. Just because you call for it. Now, we can negotiate terms. But in the current political atmosphere, where you just saw Kamala get moved in, all the rest of the people voted for Joe. They didn't vote for Kamala. Kamala gets moved in a position. You don't debate that. You don't have no conversation with that at all. Because you're not even sure that's set in stone. Based on what you just saw happen, you don't know if it's set in stone. I'm going to share something else with y'all. So, I have a conversation yesterday evening. Conversation about politics, which I rarely have with individuals, face to face or over the phone. But it was amazing because I got an opportunity to ask questions to someone who was thinking in this like liberal mind bug way, right? So I'm like, look, so did you vote for Joe? Yeah, I voted for Joe. How do you feel about Kamala just being put in place? We know she's vice president and that, you know, she's the next one in line. No, that's not how it works. This is how it works. So you know they're not following the rules. How do you feel about that? Brain just completely skipped any law and order, any rules and regulations. No, I'm going with her because she's this. And I'm like, how does your brain move like that with no logical sense of order at all? Like, how do you accept that hypocrisy? And I'm articulating this. I'm like, okay, well, how do you accept this hypocrisy and this hypocrisy and this hypocrisy? And then I went to LeBron. I said, how do you accept the fact that LeBron kneeled for a whole season and then LeBron running with the flag? Does that not anger you one way or the other? Because, like, on either side, it should piss you off. Because if he really believed what he was said, he wouldn't even be on the Olympic team. He would have took that moment to make a point and boycott the Olympic team if he really felt and believed what he was talking about. So he playing you. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, it couldn't penetrate the person's skull. And I'm sitting there looking like, man, you know what? Something's really wrong. Think about it. Who we got here? Let's say Jesse Owens, the one that said he see green people. Let's say Jesse. Let's say Jesse, you see green people. For real. No bull crap. But let's say Jesse was upset and he was down with the whole kneeling and all the rest of this stuff. And he cool with LeBron. He's real cool with LeBron. And he's like, yeah, I support LeBron. You know, I'm on his side. And then 3 years later, LeBron ain't acting that way. He ain't doing nothing no different. And he decided he's going to represent the Olympics. The U.S. in the Olympics. Point blank period. and run around with the flag on, but you was just talking trash about the nation. Then somebody may say, well, what about the Black Panthers when they was protesting at the Olympics? That was a different thing. When they did the black fist, the fist at the Olympics? No. A whole completely different thing. It was at the Olympics at the biggest stage where they protested and made their protest, which means that they actually stood for what they were saying, because at the biggest moment on the world's biggest stage, they made that point. This is the other way around. When you get to the biggest stage in the world, now you want to be accepted and you want everybody to like you. It's crazy. Whoa, are you about to hit somebody car? Girl, you got to do better than that, girl. That's how people have problems. It's crazy, man. I mean, it really is crazy to me. And then people make these juxtapositions. Well, they did it in the Olympics in the 70s. No, they didn't do the same thing. It wasn't the same damn thing. Those people are principles. And they pay the price for that. It's like this new, let me get on the bandwagon, what's the most popular thing to do, and then I'm going to escape all the repercussions and consequences of my actions. You know what I'm saying? It's craziness, bro. It's pure on and utter craziness. Then I had a conversation with somebody from the crypto community. Hey man, we could use your help with ABC. No, dog. I don't mess with that. Well, we trying to set up this. Figure it out. Well, you've done it before. Figure it out. I figured it out on my own. It's crazy. It's gonna change today. It's pure and utter insanity. So with that being said, today I'm hitting LeBron James being a lizard person. Today I'm hitting the Venezuela elections and what it means for me and you. Today I'm hitting the water wars and how they're talking about they're going to take over the water and tax you for using water, which they already charge you for using water in any city that you live in, unless you got your own well. How they're going to start taxing the water. How they're going to monitor the water. How they want to figure out how much water is inside of the earth. And how their mining operations have discovered dark oxygen, and why dark oxygen is a threat to, it's not a threat, it's a great asset for this economy that they're trying to build, because inside of these rocks that they're calling dark oxygen really is lithium that are used for their batteries that they need to control all their AI. And so basically they're telling you they're going to destroy the whole damn ocean in order to bring to life their AI god and sustain their AI god. It's a lot, man. I'm telling you, it's a lot. And when you sit down and you look at it, and then you can see it from multiple perspectives, it's like, come on, bro, what's wrong with these people, man? Like, something wrong with these people. You know what I'm saying? Something is seriously wrong with these people. They really are wicked, crazy people. And that's all I can say. It's a brood of hypocrites. What we saw over the weekend, which is Satanists. What we saw at the same time with the satanic worship was just sexually immoral, crazy people. And then greedy people. That's what it is, yo. And on top of all that, they all cowards. On top of all that, they all cowards. Because they'll never put themselves in a position where there was a open debate, an open conversation with anybody about what they're doing. They all talk amongst themselves. And it's just pure and utter insanity. Boy, you look suspect, boy. My bad, y'all. Give me a second. Yeah, it's just pure and utter insanity out here in these streets with these people. Can we get the likes up? We got 80, we got 150 and 87 likes. Let me tell you something. See, we got a mixture of people around here. And what's the best way to say this? It's going to come across the wrong way. But see, the normal black American male body language, I can read that. It's simple because I grew up with it. But see, they got these new people coming from all over the country that's got from all over the world that got the same skin, but their body language is different. It's like they register as a threat based on some of the body languages, and then it flips. And then it registers as a threat again, and then it flips. And it's just like, this is new for me to comprehend in my mind, because you're moving like somebody that's a threat, but then you're doing something that's non-threatening, but then you start moving again like somebody that's a threat. And I'm just like, it's just a different body language. And anybody who understands what I'm saying, you understand. Those who don't understand, you ain't gonna never get it. But the point I'm making it's a different body language, man. It's a different body language. It's kind of like growing up in New Orleans when you go to, I remember when I started going to other cities, and people were like, yeah, we're going to go to my auntie house in the project, and we go get some food. So we go to the project like this beautiful apartment complex. And I'm like, yo, this is the project? Yeah. Okay. It's like your brain is, what's being forced to happen is because they're bringing in some of these new people, your brain is being forced to adapt to identifying like whether a person is a threat or not based on this new evolution of people that's all around. And it's very, very difficult. And I'm really good at it. And it's very difficult. Because it's just culturally, it's different. It's a different culture. So truthfully, to understand that, I probably would have to go back and go to certain people's hometowns and villages. What's up, brother? And take a look at what they do and look at the worst of them to see how they move, to translate it back to see how these people move. You know what I'm saying? That's how much more difficult it is. Now, you take somebody from, for example, you take somebody from Baltimore, somebody from St. Louis, take somebody from Compton, New Orleans, Atlanta, south side of Miami, across the bridge, put them all in a room together. There's going to be these common things that you can see. The lingo is going to be different. But the movement's going to be the same. But the lingo, you got to be able to hear what's being, that's going to be, but the movement's going to be the same. But it's crazy. I can't even explain that. Never mind. Those who understand, I understand. Those who understand will understand. So I'm interested in seeing what happens the rest of this week. I think this is going to be another explosive week. It kind of has no choice but to be an explosive week, because every other week has been an explosive week of news events and things that are happening. And I'm noticing weekends used to be quiet. They're not as quiet as they used to be at all. I feel like I anticipated that, but they're not as quiet as they used to be at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. Hey, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Stop acting like a little broad. Let's make it happen, Captain. I'm looking for other videos where LeBron morphs. I found another video where his arm extended, like his hands extended extra long. But that video of him and his eyes changing, and I could see, something happening to the TV where it kind of distorted, and it would distort his face. But to distort him and to have it lizard eyes isn't. I mean, slits in his eyes is absolutely insane. I mean, it's absolutely totally mind-boggling, insane, and bonkers. That's why I tell LeBron not real, he's a mutant. Man, bro, I don't know. All I can tell you is this. They tell me I'm supposed to believe everything else that's on TV, right? So everything else that the news say, I'm supposed to believe that, right? So if ABC News tell me that the truth is this, then I'm supposed to believe that, right? Because they're credible, trustable source, right? Trustworthy. So when a man morphs into a lizard on live on TV, on your news station, I'm supposed to trust that. Because you're a trusted news source. Right? I'm supposed to trust you. You're a news source that's trusted. So the way I see it is, can't nobody get mad at me for doing what they told me to do. You told me to trust you, baby. And I trust the fact that man's a lizard. That's what it boils down to. He's a lizard. That's all it is to it. That is all it is to it. And really, that's how you mind, mind bump people when you find something that's hypocritical on a news station that they like. You're like, hold on, you want me to believe everything else they say, but then they said this and I'm not supposed to believe that, but you said I'm supposed to believe it. So I got to believe everything. So I definitely got to believe this, baby. They said it. That's what they said. I didn't say it. They said it. Oh, but now that they're being hypocritical and they're being hypocrites, I'm not supposed to believe that. Example, Joe Biden is qualified to do the job. Joe Biden is in good health. Switch the script. Oh no, we're not sure about Joe Biden. We're not sure what he can do. We're seeing where he may have some mental issues or some health declining issues. Wait. You told me A, now you're telling me B. So I get to choose, but I'm supposed to believe you because you're telling me the truth. All right. So what you told me is you don't know what you're talking about. So when I hold you to that standard, Pokey. Oh, that's Pookie. My bad. So what you're telling me is when I hold you to that standard, you don't like me holding you to that standard. You know what I'm saying? But you got to hold them to the standard. You change course in every bit of 14 days. So what you told me is no longer credible, and you were wrong, but you didn't admit you were wrong. You just changed courses. So what's to stop you from changing courses again? I just choose to highlight the fact that you changed courses and you're a hypocrite. So I apply that same standard to everything that you say. Across the board. And not like you say, hey, I'm sorry, we were wrong, we did this, we apologize, we're going to do a better job reporting. No. A was true, and it was factual. Then all of a sudden, it's no longer true and factual when B is the truth. And B is factual. Forget that we told you A. And that's what you see everywhere. Think about it. You had a president get shot in the ear 2.5 weeks ago. And ain't nobody even talking about the fact that somebody tried to knock the president off, ex-president off. Nobody. That's how far they moved that Overton window that I was telling you guys about back then. I said they had to move the window. They moved it that far that that's not even a part of the conversation anymore. I mean, that's how far they moved it. And that's what we are out here in these streets. I think I'm gonna try streaming stories again on here to see how YouTube behaves. Sometimes they treat me like they're supposed to treat me as a good partner. Sometimes they treat me as the black sheep, algorithm wise, not the moderators and the people who do the manual reviews. By the way, to the guys who do the manual reviews, thank you again. You're awesome. I mean, sorry that you got to go through what you're going through. But again, I'm just going to highlight the fact to you that you looked at plenty of these videos and I've never said anything that was outside of YouTube's policies. And if you keep on knocking it out faster and faster and faster, it's going to get to the point someday in the near future, you'll look back on this moment and you'll realize that I'm right, that when you see a video by me and it has this, you just hit the button and move it forward because I don't violate nothing. It may take a while for you to get to that point, but sooner than later, you'll be sitting in front of your computer and you look back on this moment and you'll realize, absolutely, he's right. He's right. And when we get to that point, that moment, we all will celebrate. Y'all, me, you, everybody here. Remember what I said. Listen and heard me. You heard me? Yeah, I can see, but I can't really see. And you know, guys, I think one of the biggest controversies on YouTube is being swept under the rug. So I don't know if y'all ever heard a guy named JD Delay. JD Delay is this dude that's like an ex-convict, got a massive YouTube Shorts channel. He been covering the MrBeast thing. And so when I started to touch on the MrBeast, I was like, he's a YouTube fave. YouTube is already acting funny with me. I'm not going to really hit on it. So I go watch him. And then he started posting all kind of stuff. You got to go watch it. Touching on the MrBeast controversy. And let me tell you something. MrBeast got a problem. He got a real problem. And I don't know that could be swept under the rug like people are trying to sweep it under the rug. And I don't think people are going to allow it to be swept under the rug at all. It's kind of human nature in a competitive environment to show truth as long as you're standing in truth. It's also human nature in a competitive environment to lie. The problem that MrBeast has is people don't have to lie on him because they got all the messages and stuff out there between all these people. And it's not looking good for MrBeast at all. I mean, it's just not looking good for him at all. For that brand, if that brand survives what's going on, it had to have help. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? It had to have some kind of help. As a person who's had a lot of different conflicts on YouTube, by the way, none of them which I started, only the ones that I only finish them. And I can prove to you why this is how you know. No man who has strength and is successful starts an argument or a fight. It's always the person who's weaker that starts the argument or the fight because they benefit from that. Even associating their name with a bigger name, they benefit. Unfortunately, people don't understand that. But you never find somebody that's doing well that's starting a fight. Now, you'll find somebody who's doing well finish a fight, but you never find somebody who's doing well starting a fight. Let's make that clear. So, as a person who's had a lot of back and forth on YouTube in the past 10 years, bro, I don't see how a brand comes out of that. I just don't. Like, I don't even see, for example, I don't see how the Olympic brand comes out of what they just did. I don't think that the Olympics will ever be the same again. Ever have the same amount of people watching it ever again. And it involved, stuff with children. And so I just don't see, I don't see none of it being the same again. You know what I'm saying? Just don't see it. So I don't know how that brand's gonna come back from that. I'm interested in watching it because it will be if he's able to salvage that brand in any way, shape, or form, it needs to be studied in marketing schools as a test case as to how you rebuild and how you survive a scandal. I just don't see him surviving it independently from protection from the YouTube algorithm and YouTube themselves, which they have an interest in protecting it because he makes a lot of money. But I just don't see it. And then if any lawsuits, anything like that fly around, it gets even worse. So I don't see it. We're in interesting times. Cat Williams came out and said that all the degenerates was going to be exposed, and all the degeneracy was going to be exposed, and he ain't lying. I mean, that dude, he about that tall, but he wasn't lying when he came out and said it. He about that tall though, but he wasn't lying about nothing. Between him, Charleston White, Jaguar Wright, and the entertainment field, and I'm not sure who is at play in the social media field as it pertains to like YouTube channels, but there's, to a certain extent, nothing is organic. But to a certain extent, stuff is organic. And what I mean by that is, so when you see the pendulum swinging and targeting the biggest, exposing things, that pendulum didn't just get moving. Somebody hit it and swung it that way. You see what I'm saying? Some kind of way it got hit. It got hit and swung that way. It could be just the Lord say, okay, I'm tired of all this foolishness. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you, it's going down out here in these streets. Whether it be Drake and Kendrick Lamar, which Drake utterly got decimated by Kendrick Lamar. And you may not listen to rap music. The significance of it is not about the rap music. It's about the standards of who should represent black culture and hip hop. To be represented by people who are behind doors with underground bunkers doing wild stuff, or should be represented by people who basically got gang culture or prison culture, which, you know, prison culture is vehemently against all those crazy acts that people like Diddy and Jay-Z and all those people have been accused of. And so it's kind of a degenerate fight for the hip-hop culture, which is a section of black culture. But I mean, moving away from what Diddy and them was doing up to the other stuff, at least there's some kind of standard. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a standard. Definitely there's a standard. Just food for thought. That's what I be doing, what y'all do with my smoke break. I just be sitting there telling you what be on my mind, what I be thinking, what I be seeing, what I be feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's all I be doing. You dig? All right. It's about to be the hour of judgment, and I need to get on the phone and do the prayers for the day. So I'm gonna hop off of here because it should be 11:30-ish, 11:40-ish. What time is it? 11:53. No, sir. We're not missing an hour. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.